Yo, what's going on, my guys? Sorry we're a little late. Always getting caught up behind stage. Gotta introduce the main homie for a special night, man. I've been pumped for this one. We've been needing to do this for a while, but my co-host, rockin' Robbie Billups. Station. My brother. Dude, I'm so glad we're finally here to review Creepshow, man. It's been too long, man. This is one we should have done a long time ago, but we're finally here, brother. We're finally here. I think the big reason, though, is because I kind of wanted to do, like, Creepshow 1, 2, and then Tales from the Dark Side. But it's just been so crazy, man. So I think this was a perfect little one-shot. Because we can always do 2 and Tales from the Dark Side another time. I do want to do Tales from the Dark Side soon.
Oh, me too. Me too. 100%.
I love that. But 2, you know, like, I love it, but there's not going to be nearly as much to talk about. You know, that one I feel like we'd kind of skim over a little bit. You know what I mean?
Not if we give it its whole show, though. I'll tell you that. Not if.
I do love it, man. A lot of people I feel like don't, but I love the first 2 skits in Creepshow 2, man. I love the Chief. What is it, Chief? Oh my God. That's gonna kill me. But there's the freaking lake monster or the raft and
Chief Woodenhead.
Old Chief Woodenhead, yeah. And yeah, bro. So Creepshow, bro. Oh, you have this, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Did I tell you that this is? I hope they were talking that the Halloween box sets are supposed to come in like slip cases like this. So I'm really hyped for that, man. I hope they're like this and not like Bill and Ted, because Bill and Ted they're the slide through, but they're not hard. They're not hard like this. Am I correct? Yeah. I don't own that, so I don't know. But I was pretty sure that it's
I'm pretty sure it's a little bit more flimsy. It's over on the shelf. I can go check on it a little bit later. But this is, I mean, hear that?
Right.
That's really high quality slip. I mean, I'm not kidding. This is really freaking good. The book is awesome. This is like a Criterion type release, man.
It really is. It really, like, I mean, hands down, this is the best single released Scream Factory Blu-ray collector's edition they've ever done. You know, they really did this one justice that it deserves. You know what I mean?
Cliff McMillan was the Blu-ray producer, and Cliff and the gang, well done.
Yeah, seriously. And then the CRP group did the package design, and Laz Marquez did the cover.
Argento love. Some Argento love right there, too. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I love that. It's got a nice little booklet in here, too, man. Going in about George Romero and everything that kind of led up to the collaboration between Stephen King and George Romero. You know, 2 of the freaking masters of terror and the Macabre, bro. It was so legendary when this came, you know. Obviously, I wasn't alive when it came out, but I know, like, when I was a kid, And I just remember seeing like George A. Romero and Stephen King. Like, it was just.
I was alive, but I didn't watch it. I was one.
Yeah. I mean, stuff like this is what I'm sure gave Mick Garris the idea for Masters of Horror. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah,
you get two legends and just did this incredible anthology, man. I love it. I love the artwork.
And you add in Tom Savini, right?
Yeah.
Amazing actors that they got for this stuff. Some really hot actors at the time, like Ted Danson and Adrienne Barbeau.
Oh, yeah.
And then don't forget that they got Bernie Wrightson involved for this comic book.
Oh yeah, true that. And that's that's the reverse cover actually too.
The reverse cover.
Dude, that's what this is all. I mean, this was like kind of like a love letter, because George Romero and Stephen King were huge fans of the EC comics, Tales from the Crypt and everything. So that
Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, Haunt of Fear.
Yep.
The Warren stuff, like creepy and eerie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just I can't say enough about this. But before we get into all that, think that we got a little bit of horror news. Do you have anything you want to talk about? I know, as always, I didn't freaking write it down. I'll tell you, man, the best way to think of my horror news is to look at my story. That's where, like, as soon as I see it, I just put it to my story, and then it's gone 24 hours later, so I forget it. You know.
I can't think of anything.
Let me see.
But it's been a busy week.
Something. Chucky, the TV series that's going to be on Sci-Fi, got its official trailer, and I have a feeling you're not going to like how Chucky looks, but I'm actually really excited for it. I think it's going to be great. I loved Cult of Chucky. I loved Curse of Chucky. So I'm really excited. I guess this is going to be kind of like Chucky going back to like his childhood home and getting revenge on someone from his old days. So it looks very interesting. I don't know if you've seen the trailer.
I have not seen the trailer. Strickland was talking with me about it earlier, and Jay Strick said that he thought it didn't look very good and that he didn't like the way Chucky looked. He said that Chucky looks like he does in Cult, which I did not like. That if you remember. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm not gonna lie, the look of Chucky kind of threw me off as well. For some, maybe I just love Chucky so much I just kind of like accept it and I get used to it. Because at first when I watched like Cult, I didn't really like how he looked either, even though I did like the movie. But over time, I really just kind of like accepted it. You know what I mean? You can't change it. It is what it is.
Yeah. Hey Bueller, happy birthday.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Bueller. Love you, brother.
We doing the bit? All right. So he was talking about the Chucky TV series, which has released its trailer. And I can't say I'm super excited, but at the same time, when we revisited all the Chucky films, I had fun with it. So,
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good now. I can hear you now. I can hear you and see you.
Cool. My internet just shut down, and that was my personal hotspot. I don't know. But yeah, it's obviously not gonna have. I don't know if it's gonna have as much money as Cult did. Because I mean, they're going to the Sci-Fi. It just seems like they keep losing money. I don't know. I'll have to see what their budget is, but I think it looks fun. We'll see what happens though. It's totally a weird transition from being, getting 7 movies or whatever, however many there are, to going to the Sci-Fi TV channel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Mancini's still a part of it, right? He's still involved, right? Yeah. Like heavily, right?
Yeah, big time. And I guess he's bringing the rumors that he's saying he's bringing back like the CW characters. So they're saying he's bringing back Glenn or Glenda. Yeah, so we'll see.
Cool with that.
I'm cool with that too. I always like CW. It looks like Neil Marshall has a movie called The Lair, and it's a full-on monster movie with flesh-eating human alien hybrids. So I'm game for Neil Marshall. That tagline sounds pretty interesting.
Refresh my memory. Who's Neil Marshall? What did he do?
The Descent.
Oh,
He's done some Game of Thrones episodes as well.
okay.
I know you didn't like The Descent.
Yeah, I don't like The Descent.
I thought there was something though that you did like by him, unless I'm thinking of someone else. Let me see, what else did he do? I know he did Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Dog Soldiers. I don't know how big you are on Dog Soldiers.
I haven't seen it. I hear it's good.
Yeah.
That's a werewolf film, right?
Yeah, I remember you did tell me that. Yeah, he did some Game of Thrones. He did some Constantine episodes, Hannibal episodes, Westworld episodes. He's done a lot of TV. And he did the Hellboy with David Harbour. Not really saying much on that. I mean,
His name was not Hellboy. I didn't like that movie. That movie sucked.
Yeah, but he's a good horror director, I think. I mean,
okay.
Some people love him, some people don't, but I think he goes for it. The Descent is fucking weird, bro.
I'll take your word for it.
It looks like new Haunted Mansion movie finally happening with Get Out star Lakeith Stanfield as the tour guide. So that could be interesting.
Like Disney's Haunted Mansion?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Did I say? I don't know if it's going to be animated, though, or live action. It doesn't really say. But Lakeith Stanfield, do you remember the guy in Get Out?
Yeah.
Who is just like screaming, he's the young, who I'm talking about, so I don't even, why am I trying to say that? Looks like Sci-Fi is also getting a Day of the Dead show. And they just released some fresh images. So
if it's a TV show, they shouldn't call it Day of the Dead. It should be Days of the Dead, right? Because is the show going to be in one day?
Right. It says, check out some fresh images from the first episode of Sci-Fi's Day of the Dead. A new series taken from Jordy Romero's film is directed by horror favorite Steven Kostansky. The Void, Manborg, Father's Day, Leprechaun Returns, and Psycho Gorman. Which I actually did like Leprechaun Returns, even though it didn't have my boy
Warwick Davis.
Euro. Yeah. But I thought it was good. I like Psycho Gorman, but the little girl, was annoying as hell. I did like Psycho Gorman, so we'll see. He goes practical. He goes practical effects all the way. So we'll see. I don't have too much faith, to be honest, though, because George A. Romero's Day of the Dead is one of my all-time favorite zombie movies. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But
I agree, young man.
It feels like since Romero died, I get they want to keep the legacy alive, and I totally respect that. But do it the correct way and don't just live off the name. You know what I'm saying? Like, put out good work, because Romero did not just put out stuff just to put it out. He put his blood, sweat, and tears into that shit.
And he didn't want to work for the man, and he never signed these deals for a reason. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
He was done. Hollywood did nothing but screw him over his entire career. He has a smash movie. I mean, actually, I don't know how well it did in the theaters. I'm assuming it did well, but this is a cult classic, like a lot of his other films. But this hit big, right? As far as I'm aware, we should look that up. But like, nobody ever wanted to give him money to make a movie, not even a zombie film, really.
Yeah.
Like, it's so silly. It's Adam Green's going through the same shit now.
Yeah.
It's so freaking weird, man. I hate it.
It sucks, man.
You think with crowdfunding, though, like, there's such a generous community here that you would think that with horror, like, Adam Green fans would get a damn Adam Green movie funded, and Romero never had access to stuff like that, really. So
I hope, man, if Adam, can you hear me? Because I feel my wife. Okay.
Yeah.
I wish Adam Green would maybe do like a Kickstarter or something, bro, because I would throw some money his way, bro. Like, I wouldn't do that for anybody else but him, honestly.
All right. Creepshow made $21 million at the box office, is what it says on Wiki. A budget of $8 million, though, so that was a win. You get what I'm saying? So that was a win. But it probably didn't open on too many theaters either, if you think about it. But I don't know. I have to look more into that.
I doubt it was too, like, big, but it could have been. I mean, because Stephen King was a big name, so maybe
It was
that
given
helped
a
him.
wide release. It was given a wide release
Mm-hmm.
by Warner Brothers on Wednesday, November 10th, 1982. In its opening weekend, Creepshow grossed $5 million from over 1,000 theaters. It was 1,127, and it ranked number one at the U.S. box office, kicking off First Blood. So actually, yeah, this was a movie that made a mark for its time. 82, that's respectable for a horror film.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
But you have the Stephen King name attached. You have Ted Danson, Dreamheart,
Right.
from Cheers, Leslie Nielsen.
Oh my God, yeah.
Hal Holbrook, like some really good talent in this movie.
Yeah, that might have helped. Even Ed Harris wasn't really big at the time, but you even got him. I mean, last thing before I forget, it says with that Day of the Dead though, the series tells the story of 6 strangers trying to survive the first 24 hours of an undead invasion. This ode to George A. Romero's famous flesh-eating reminds us that sometimes all it takes to bring people together is a horde of hungry zombies trying to rip them apart.
That is true. And that actually is a full day. So that's interesting. Are they going to do it like 24? And the other thing is that like the George A. Romero one's actually not set in a day either. It was just a joke I was making.
Right. You want to see this is what let me see if I could. This is what zombies.
Looks like fuzzy Walking Dead to me.
Effects look okay. I'd have to see if I could pull it up on here. But I'll send you pictures later. They look okay though. Okay. I know that Disney's talking about doing a new Predator film because we all know that Disney now owns the Predator. It says Skull is an origin, and I guess it's going to be called Skull, is an origin story about the first time a predator comes to Earth, filming almost completed. It says new Predator film is on the way from 20th Century Studios, and Collider learned today that filming is nearly completed on the prequel that's currently titled Skull.
I hope it's like Predator Skull, not just Skull. Yeah. That'd be dumb.
Yeah.
You got a brand like Predator, use it. You know what I'm saying?
My God. Skull is rumored to be heading straight to Hulu, similar to that of the forthcoming Hellraiser reimagining. What is going on with this?
Interest just went. I'll be honest, man. How many good Predator movies are there? Let's be honest with each other. Like, I haven't seen some of the newer ones, but I like one.
I love one. I have love for the second.
I do too, but it's not a good movie.
And Predators was okay.
I haven't seen that. Is that the Robert Rodriguez one?
Yes.
I haven't seen that one.
I do like that one, but I don't like Adrian Brody as the main guy because he just doesn't like. They even try and make him feel like he's Arnold, like dipping himself in the mud and everything. It's like, bro, you are not Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I don't know. Big news though, bro. I can't believe I forgot this. They're saying that the Friday the 13th lawsuit might be over and that they're doing a reboot. It says Corey Feldman claims Friday the 13th dispute resolved. Original reboot plan was Tommy versus Jason. I don't know what's up with that, but there is talks that they're getting the reboot started for Friday the 13th. So
and they want Feldman to play Tommy.
Maybe they want to bring him back. I don't know.
You know what? Here's a bold idea that I don't think anybody would do something like this. So it's prime for Friday the 13th to do it.
Yeah.
What if you make a direct sequel to the first one and discount all of the other movies?
Stop fucking with me, bro.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh my God. That would be like game changing.
Horror trends that piss Robbie off.
No one is doing that. So I guess what they said, Friday the 13th in 2009, the plan was to pit Tommy against Jason, Freddy versus Jason style. So they wanted to do like a Tommy versus Jason. I don't know about that.
I know who's going to win that one.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Not Corey Feldman, but Also, I don't know if I said this, but Universal Pictures has teamed up with Peacock to close a 400 million plus deal to buy a new Exorcist trilogy.
Yeah.
I think that is kind of colliding with the Exorcist movie that we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
So I think maybe now it's turning into a trilogy. So I guess that wouldn't make sense. They're doing exactly what they're doing with Halloween. Direct sequel to the original, and then there's going to be three of them. So it's going to be a quadrilogy, like
Huh.
total. So I don't know, man, that this is going to be the new thing where everything is direct sequel, and then you're going to get three of them or something, so I
Yep,
don't
they're
know.
trying it with TCM. They're going to do it with Exorcist. They're doing it with Halloween. You just wait and see. They're going to do this with more stuff, like Nightmare on Elm Street, direct sequel to the first one, discounting all the others. No, don't do that. Dream Warriors is the shit. Just remake
Yeah,
Dream Warriors. Why not? Oh, sure. I don't know.
seriously.
I hate this
Um,
trend. I hate this trend so much, man.
I
I
do
really
too.
do.
So much.
I'll be honest. Horror fans do not want remakes. We don't like them.
No.
We really just want a weird stretch of a fucking sequel that tries to honor a lot of stuff. Well, I'm just saying, like most horror fans, what they want out of a Jason movie is they want the next part of Jason.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they want. They want the next Freddy, but we want Freddy Krueger, and we want Robert Englund. That ain't going to happen at this point, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
It could if they'd stop fucking playing games and give us a Freddy before the guy fucking is way too old. I think he's got one more in him, honestly. Thanks to my boy Fable, though, I got this. A new red band trailer for Chapel Wait. It's a weird name, but it's basically Stephen King's prequel story, Jerusalem's Lot, published in 1978. So it's a Stephen King movie. And Adrian Brody's in it. Speaking of him, when I was just hating on him for Predators, but it actually looks really good. I don't know if I've ever read. Do you know what that is? The prequel to Jerusalem's Lot? Is that just a prequel to Salem's Lot then? That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, Jerusalem's Lot is Salem's Lot, right?
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. So I didn't. So is the book called Chapel Wait, or was the prequel called Jerusalem's Lot, like the book, and then there was just Salem's Lot? But either way, I'm definitely game for that because I love Salem's Lot. And I did watch the trailer. It does look interesting. I guess premieres August 22nd. I don't know if it's gonna go to Netflix or wait. It says stars in the Epix series as Captain. I don't know, Epix, like EPIX. I don't know if that's an app or something, but whatever it is, I want to check it out. Hopefully it goes to theaters. That would be cool.
All right, check this. Jerusalem's Lot is a short story that is a prequel to Salem's Lot that was in the Night Shift collection.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Because I know he does. That's when I used to have the Night Shift ones, and I don't have it anymore. I got like freaking a glass of wine. I love this freaking on Stephen King on writing. You ever read that book? So good.
No, I actually haven't read that one.
Did I say that Amazon's doing I Know What You Did Last Summer TV series premiering this October?
God, I really hope not.
Yeah, well, they are.
Are you serious?
Yeah, 100%. I didn't know if I talked about that last week. 100%. Yeah, I'm not really. I Know What You Did Last Summer 1 and 2, but I don't really like. I've kind of gotten sick of them over the years. I do love them though. I grew up with them, but I do love Jennifer Love Hewitt though. You know what I'm saying? So, and American Horror Story is premiering pretty soon too. Double feature, which I'm so hyped for. It's looking crazy, bro. Like freaking vampires and aliens and shit. I don't know what's going on, bro. Like it looks crazy. But I don't know if you've seen the anthology called American Horror Stories that's out right now on Hulu. It's like a separate thing. Like it's kind of, I don't know, it's like in that universe, but they're like one-shot episodes. I watched the first 3 episodes. They're pretty good. Well, the first 2 is a part 1 and 2. It's like the Rubber Woman. I don't know if you've ever seen the Murder House season, the first season. So it's kind of tied into that. That was good. there was a drive-in one where like they're watching this haunted movie that no one like, that's rumored that if you watch it, like you're gonna die or something. It's called like Rabbit. And then it kind of reminds me of Chillerama, where they're watching the movie and then just all hell breaks loose and just like kind of zombies and stuff. I didn't really like that one as much. And then a new episode, the 4th episode just came out, and I didn't get to watch that one yet. I guess, and then last thing I got is Netflix series from Channel Zero creator premiering on Friday the 13th. So it looks like there's a new 8-episode limited series called Channel Zero coming out on Netflix. Who knows? On Friday the 13th, so who knows if that'll be any good.
There is based on the comic book Channel Zero.
There is a new vampire movie getting a lot of hype that just came out on Netflix called like Blood Red
Sky. That trailer looks really cool.
I haven't watched it. I really just want to jump into it because I keep hearing a lot of good things. Guy at work just was like telling me about it. I'm like, that shit sounds fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to hijack a plane, and then like one of the passengers is a vampire.
Yeah,
trying to withhold the hunger, and it looks really cool. I want to check it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say unruly. I didn't think the story was called Chapel Wake because I didn't remember any story like that. I know, I'd say like 90% of his work. I'm sure there's a few things I don't know because I'm not gonna claim I know everything about Stephen King. But yeah, I'm hyped for that though, man. Shout out to Fable for showing me that trailer, bro. For reals. Yeah, new Bigfoot movie would be dope. There's this show. It was called like
about the monster truck. That would be cool. Bigfoot 3 was my favorite.
There was this show that like it was like on that freaking what was it? It was gonna be on. Remember there was that show, that freaking app. It was only on your phone, and Ice Cream Man got like
Quibi or something.
Quibi, yeah. And there was a show that Sam Raimi had. Well, it was like 50 States of Fright, I think it was called. I was watching some of them. Yeah, 50 States of Fright. And there was a Bigfoot one that was really fucking cool. Like this guy hits like a baby Bigfoot, and they're like trying to figure out what the thing is. And he brings it to like a guy who basically like a Norman Bates who can kind of like turn, like what is that called? Who, where they're like turning dead animals into like
taxidermy.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. And then he like puts it back together, and you're like, it's a baby Bigfoot, and then the Bigfoot comes in and fucks him up. You know what I'm saying? But 50 States of Fright, I don't know what happened to it because the app is gone. But it was a really good show. There was some really good episodes on there, like no joke. Definitely worth checking out. I hope one day I can get like they do a Blu-ray or something because it was actually really good. But yeah, so that's all I got for this week. I know that was a lot.
And you didn't have anything at first.
I didn't because I never write it down, but I'm going to start trying to do better on that.
Well, here's one. I do have a couple of things real quick then, because I was, I did my weekly wrap up, and really all there was that big Scott Snyder news, right?
Oh,
but in that what's that? You haven't heard about that? So Scott Snyder signed a deal with Amazon/Comixology to release 8 books starting in October that will be digital first as part of the Comixology, Unlimited app. But then Dark Horse is going to publish them. A few of them are horror films, including Canary with artwork by Dan Panosian, and it's about a mine shaft in the Old West. So it's a Western horror, and it's about a mine shaft that collapses in on itself and opens up a hole that's exactly 666 feet.
Yeah.
All right. So there's that. Then we have Book of Evil, which is a prose story by Scott Snyder in the vein of Stephen King, it said, and it's got artwork by Jock, and it's illustrated, right? And he said it's about a world in which the majority, like 90% of the population are psychopaths or something like that. Then there's Night of the Ghoul, which has got artwork by Francisco Francavilla from Afterlife with Archie, and just one of my favorite artists out right now, and big horror fan. And Night of the Ghoul is about like a haunted, lost film, which made me think of things like Ninth Gate and Cigarette Burns, which is amazing. And then the big one is one that's promising to be like Batman meets metal meets what do they say, like demons or something, but it's called We Have Demons, and it's got artwork by Greg Capullo.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be like a gnarly demon type thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That does sound cool. I saw you posted it too, and I was gonna watch it. I love your freaking weekly wrap up. Anyone who doesn't check out my boy Rockin' Robbie's weekly wrap up, or just check his channel out, period, you're slacking, bro. Slacking in life. Dude, for real, that's one of my all-time favorites of every freaking Saturday, watching your weekly wrap up.
Well, thank you. I go through the solicitations and the news and try to hit you with the big bits so that you don't have to worry about it. In case you have to worry about missing it.
Nothing, bro, because I just wait for your video for real, like, because it's always so informative. So I do always appreciate that, man. So if you guys are always looking for some good comic news or just any movie news or horror news,
and I do trailer reactions there too. Oh, that's the other thing. Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer.
Yes. How did I forget that? And
it looks like they're the new Ghostbusters are going to be kids. Okay, sure, we'll see it. The original one's not necessarily, I don't think, made for kids, but it was appealing to kids. So I think they're trying to like do that. But I don't know if it's kids that are going to want to watch this film. I think it's really going to be 40-year-old men and women that want to watch this show. But whatever, we'll see.
Right. That's where it kind of, because I'm not going to lie, I'm excited for it, but the trailer didn't do too much for me, to be honest. I think it had some cool stuff going for it. And I will be there to watch it day one.
If we get a new production run of Ecto Cooler from High C, it'll all be worth it.
Right. But there also is a trailer breakdown by the son of the creator, Jason Reitman, or Ivan Reitman. Jason Reitman is the son.
And he's the director of the new one.
Yeah, and him and his father worked hand in hand. And you can really tell that this means a lot to him. So I think it is going to be a good movie. But I also feel like we're just in that day and age of everyone just homaging and trying to recreate what was awesome 30 years ago. And I can respect it and I love it because that's me. I love all that stuff. But it just doesn't always work. You know what I'm saying? You can't always recreate greatness. And they didn't even expect it to be what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like they no way in hell did they think Ghostbusters would be the iconic symbol that it became. You know what I mean? But it is, man. And I am excited, getting the freaking gang back together. We're going to have Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and I think Ernie Hudson will be back. Sadly, we're not getting
Harold Ramis.
Yeah, but he's with us, so, and I do like that the family, that's like the core main cast is Egon's family. So I do like that they're kind of keeping that, keeping the heart of it in there, and they're not just.
That's why they shouldn't have fucked around so long and goddamn made this movie before. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like they always wanted to do Ghostbusters 3, and one of the scripts at one point that was written wound up becoming that movie Evolution. So when you watch Evolution again, and I would only recommend rewatching it so that you can notice this, but the characters are the 4 Ghostbusters. Like you can pay, like David Duchovny is Venkman, Egon is Julianne Moore, the 7-Up Yours guy is I can't remember his name right now. Orlando Jones. Orlando Jones. He is Winston, and then Sean William Scott is Ray. Like they're the same archetypes. The smart one, the smart ass, the doofy one, and the working man.
Huh. And Ivan Reitman did that. He directed that. So,
exactly. Wow. Yep, that was supposed to be Ghostbusters 3.
I don't know if I've ever seen that, dude.
Yeah.
I might have to check that out tonight.
I have to check it out. It's interesting when you know that. It's not necessarily a super good movie, but Donkey Lips from Salute Your Shorts is in it, so that's kind of cool to see him again.
Right. Huh, that is something, man. I'll have to check that out.
They just changed the ghost to aliens.
What up, Perry?
And added a love story between Peter and Egon.
Oh, really? Oh, my God. That is so, oh, my God.
Well, the Egon character is a woman in this one, so the science character.
Yeah. Hey, I hope Paul Rudd, though, fucking kills it because
he usually does, right?
He was supposed to come back for Halloween to play Tommy, and I think there's a scheduling. I wouldn't say he picked Ghostbusters over Halloween, but it was a scheduling conflict, and he was doing that, so he couldn't come play Tommy. And I always liked him as Tommy. So, but we'll
horror
see
movies gain followings and they make money, but not like a Ghostbusters potentially could. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
True.
he's on that MCU level right now,
Mhm.
even though he's Ant-Man, so he's probably one of the lowest paid ones.
Yeah,
But like, I don't know. I mean, he's it's Paul Rudd deserves it. I think I'm excited to watch the movie. It just I'm going to have to go into it and realize that this is a Spielberg relaunch of the Ghostbusters franchise. Even though it's not Spielberg, I'm just saying it feels like a Spielberg type thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh my God. My computer's acting dumb, bro.
Uh-oh. I can still see and hear you. So.
Oh, my computer just froze. If I pop out, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Jesus. Yeah, I'm gonna probably try and exit out. I'll be right back.
All right. Dylan is exiting out, so welcome to Rockin' Robbie Live. How's everybody doing? We're talking about Creepshow tonight, and I'm super freaking excited. This is such a great movie, 1982. We're going to get into it. This freaking movie is great. Yeah, very much a Spielberg-esque sequel. I agree. Mary Death Monroe. And what's up, Perry? Station Perry. The Crypto Video Club loves Evolution. It's been a long time since I saw it, so I need to check it out again. So out there, who likes Creepshow? You guys, y'all like Creepshow? Tell us what you like about it. Dylan's popping out, probably rebooting his computer. I have a package here from Jasmine from the Geeks Unleashed podcast that she sent me. Her family was getting rid of some of their VHSs, and I am acquiring VHSs. So people have been donating them to me, and so she gathered them up and sent them to me. I have no idea what's in the box. She said she wanted it to be a surprise. I'm going to open it up at the end of the show during the show and tell portion. But while Dylan's still doing his thing, I do want to mention this Creepshow comic book, which you can totally get. This has got artwork by Bernie Wrightson. It is absolutely freaking fantastic. It's got all of the stories. Well, it's missing one of them, right? It doesn't. Wait, no, it's got all of them, right? Yeah, they're just in a different order. But it's got Father's Day, great artwork, the exact script pretty much from the movie. Not really. It's a little bit different. But Bernie Wrightson adapting all of that. If you don't have this and you love Creepshow, this is totally worth it. I feel like there was a missed opportunity for this Creepshow box set that they did, because if you notice, they do the big slip so that they can put that book in there. But they would have just made it a little bit wider. You could have put a small version of this in there, and I think that would have been super cool, because a lot of people may not even have this or know it exists. A lot of shops may not stock it, whether you're talking about a big chain like Barnes & Noble or Books A Million, or whether you're talking about, say, a local comic shop. I keep it in stock at my shop because, you know what I'm saying. Perry says, nice. Can't wait to see your package. Yeah, me neither, brah. I've been trying to see my package forever. Mary Death, Creepshow for fucking ever. Don't forget Tom Atkins. Tom Atkins is amazing. Such small little bit part. That's also that kid at the beginning is Joe Hill. So that's interesting. Hey, Dylan's back.
Sorry about that, bro. Damn internet wouldn't even pop back up after that. I think I'm gonna just stop using Google Chrome, bro. Yeah, so what were you talking about when I left?
I was talking about the comic book.
Oh, okay. Do you want to get into Creepshow now?
Hell yeah, bro. Let's do it. I got the audience primed. They're already telling us what they think.
Hell yeah, I see that. Hell yeah. Creepshow all freaking day. Creepshow for fucking ever. Oh man, never could we forget hashtag Tom Atkins, baby. Never.
Me.
Oh my God. Well, you know we love him up in here, man. Fun fact too, when Tom Atkins was asked to come read the script, he wanted to play Jordy Verrill because George Romero said anything you want. What character you want? He's like, well, I'd like to play Jordy, but that was already Stephen King had already expressed that that's what he wanted to do. So I guess then he picked either he picked or George was like, you'd be perfect for, the father, and I'm sure everyone knows, but that little boy who Tom Atkins backhands is freaking Stephen King's son, aka Joey Hill, who we all know and love from Hill House Comics and Basket Full of Heads and Lock and Key. And it's just so cool, man.
Plus his books, Horns, Heart-Shaped Box, I think, or whatever.
Right.
But remember, that's why God made dads. That's why God made fathers, baby.
Yeah.
That's why God made
fathers. God made fathers. Oh my God. I love
He's shitty he's a shit beer pourer, by the way. If you notice when he pours that beer, he's got like fucking 4 inches of head in there. It's ridiculous.
I love too. And the kid's just like, it's better. My comic books are better than all that sex stuff you got in your drawers.
Oh, not only am I raising a freak, I'm also raising a snoop. He got your ass, man.
He got your ass. Oh my God. So funny. So yeah, Creepshow, man, came out 1982. Freaking all you needed to see was freaking the Masters of Terror and the Macabre, George A. Romero and Stephen freaking King. And I'm sold. You know what I'm saying? Like, this movie was like the start of so many cool things, man. I feel like once they did this, people were like, man, like the sky's the limit. We can, merge and collab with so many awesome creators and just do whatever, bro. And I love this movie so freaking much, man. So much. I've seen it hundreds and hundreds of times. It never gets old. It's so much fun. I'm a huge Anthology fan, just period. And this is the one that really like kicked it all off for me, like for my love of Anthology horror movies. This is like what started it all. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I always just loved it, man. I remember going to the video store and just seeing this cover. It looked a little different, obviously, because this is a little more upgraded, but just seeing that cover, man, and just always snagging it for like 50 cents, because I remember all the older movies. You could rent a new movie for like $2, and then you could get like 3 old movies for like $1. And I would just go straight to the horror section, grab like 2 horror movies and maybe a comedy, and you know what I mean, and just go ham all week, just rewatching those 3 movies over and over. So that's a big thing. Like, people don't remember. We rent a movie on Amazon and you watch it and you're done. Back then, when you rented a movie or whatever, you go to the theater or to Blockbuster or whatever, your local VHS store, whatever you rented, that's what you were watching for the entire week, like over and over. And that's where I think I always felt like I could rewatch movies. Like, obviously, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't. But movies that I loved, I always watched over and over and over again. So many.
I would do that too. Over and over and over. And I'd be like, can we rent this one again? When we go back. Yeah.
Oh my God. I just love this movie so much. Obviously, I know we're going to have just nothing but good things to say, but what are some of the things you love about this movie, Robbie?
Well, I love the anthology aspect of it. I love the very earnest tribute to the EC comics. They have that feel. They're written that way, and the art direction is that way. I love the lighting in this damn. I saw Fable mentioned it too, but the way that like they will, well, especially in the moments when true horror is happening, right? Like when the crate monster shows up, or in other moments, like out of nowhere, completely against the rules of what's established as lighting in the scene, the background will go like blue or red or green or something, and it will be these really shocking, gaudy type colors that you would see in those comics. I freaking love it. I love how they utilize the idea that we're watching a moving comic. Like, some things are actually framed, but they don't overuse it. Each story has their bits. And I think all the stories are super solid. All the performances are great, even Stephen King. But that lighting, the way that it's such a love letter to those horror anthologies, like Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, and whatnot. So I think it's absolutely amazing. It's a brilliant film. George A. Romero is just really doing things with different styles. And it shows you, this movie shows you how versatile George A. Romero was as a filmmaker, right? But it's just a shame that he didn't really get to do it in his career. You know, he was always kind of pegged as the zombie guy or this and that. But the direction, the style, the performances, everything it's intentionally cheesy. You know, it's intentionally ridiculous at times. And I love it. Like, they ring so much true. Every single one of these is something I feel like I could have read in my Gladstone Tales from the Crypt reprints from the 90s that I used to buy up like crazy. I love this film, man.
Oh man, I couldn't agree more. Every like in Creepshow 2, I love the first two, but I don't really like the third story. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just it's not that great. But this one, man, everyone is a banger, and they're all different. You know what I'm saying? They all have different lighting. They all just feel that like their own thing, you know? And like you said, bro, I think the cinematography is great. I love just how it goes from the wraparound, and you get that little freaking house with the thunderstorm. You get the music, you know what I'm saying? The music is incredible. I love it.
John Harrison, baby. Same guy that did Day of the Dead. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, man. Yep. I love it. Just with the you hear like the thunderstorm coming, and you just hear the
and then each story has its own kind of vibe too.
It does.
Right.
It does.
And it's tied together. And that the music is exceptional in this movie. One of the great themes I always play around Halloween time, and I guess it technically is a Halloween film because it takes place on Halloween. Because otherwise, why is there a jack-o'-lantern in the window? Right. And it is weird. I saw somebody mention this in the chat that it's so weird that they got the Halloween jack-o'-lantern. This kid's room is decked out with horror posters. He's got this badass Dracula poster and all bats all over the place. But it's this comic book that like drives his dad over the edge. But just a drunken dad, you know, this was a common trope of Kings, right? So this is a Halloween film. So this is a perfect one to watch during Halloween time.
It definitely is. And another thing, you never get a better creep until this one. You know, like Creepshow 2, it had Tom Savini and like makeup and everything. But the puppet, I think they actually called him, what did they call him? I think they call him like Razul or something, just something goofy. Because I think they actually used the same puppet that they used for the creep in Creepshow 1 that they do. He was like in a Tom Savini, because they created it. He said that he used it for like a random Japanese or Chinese horror movie that he did.
That's right.
China. I thought that was funny. I forget what they call it. I swear they had something, a funny name for it though. But I just love like the way that it looks, because obviously we know there's the Creepshow TV series on Shudder, and that is the closest I think they've come to how he looked in the original. But it just the simple animatronics and what Tom Savini did to create that puppetry, it just looks so great, man. I just love it. And it's just simple, you know, like I feel like they always try to do a little too much after the first one to recreate that puppet. But just, you know, when it comes down, it like pulls its hand down and it's got the smile, and you got the him in the window, and then the lightning strikes. It just sets that atmosphere just perfect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then it goes to the really cool intro. I really like the intro. It gives it that comic book feel where it's kind of like splatter and the font that they use. And you see it kind of goes to the animation for a second. And I think it's just great, man. I literally love every single thing about this movie. I don't think I could say really a bad thing about it. Everybody that they got to be, you know, act in it is great. They got so many good actors in it, you know, that you wouldn't think like Ted Danson would be in a, you know what I'm saying, a horror movie. Or what was it, Leslie Mann, is it?
Nelson,
I'm sorry. You know, he was the freaking, you know, the Naked Gun.
Leslie Nielsen. Airplane owner.
Man. There's so many great actors in this that you just kind of wouldn't expect. I mean, obviously we get Adrienne Barbeau. It's probably one of my all-time. This is probably like one of her best roles, because I love her in The Fog. I love her in everything she does. But this is just, she is one of the sweetest ladies in the world. If you ever watch her in interviews and stuff. So to just see her be the biggest bitch, you know what I'm saying? And
Just call me Billy.
Oh my God. What would you do without me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it, man. She is so great in this. And this is definitely Stephen King's best acting role ever. He freaking slayed it as Jody, the Green Trees, the Lonesome Death of Jordy Verrill. Yeah, man. Or Jordy? Why do I keep saying Jody?
Jordy, you lunkhead.
Yeah.
$200 for broken media.
I wonder what they take up at the college.
Yeah, he's so freaking awesome.
You lunkhead.
Do you want to go through each story and chat about it?
Yeah, we might as well.
Yeah, we might as well.
So I guess it starts off with the wraparound with Tom Atkins and his son and him yelling at him and freaking backhanding him over the comic book. Let's see.
I hate you. I hope you die. I hope you go to hell. Yeah. Like, damn, kid.
Yeah, and the obedient wife who wants to speak up and protect her son, but it knows her husband's drinking and probably doesn't want to catch a backhand tonight herself. You know what I mean? Just kind of that common trope of fathers that were drinking back in the 80s and beating on their kids. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
But I think Tom Atkins does great. I think he's absolutely fantastic. And I thought that little Joe Hill was pretty damn good too.
Yeah, he does really great at the end when he's like stabbing the fuck out of that voodoo doll.
Yeah.
That he bought from the magazine. I love that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, it's great.
It's so great.
What is the story that we get after? It's the
first one is Father's Day.
Father's Day, yeah. And so we get Father's Day. You want to talk about this one?
Yeah, I like Father's Day. I don't think. I mean, we could even rate each and every one of these. Father's Day is it's a good way to start the film, because when you have an anthology, the order in which you show these is pretty important. So Father's Day is quick, short, and to the point. You do have to pay attention to some exposition at first, but it pops like that. Okay, this is a rich family. They're rich because this dude died. I want my cake, you bitch, and all that stuff. And then the daughter that kills him. And it's interesting enough. It is totally worth it just to see Ed Harris do that dance, whatever the hell that is. Like
yeah,
they're like, try to be hip and cool and dance, and that what is going on there? But I like that one. I think it's I would honestly say that I think it's the weakest out of all of the stories, but that doesn't mean shit. Like, they're all solid. This is probably the one that leans most into the idea of framing like a comic book. The lighting is amazing, and these are stuck up rich people that you just are ready to see die. Right. And I think that I like how there are multiple like ghouls and zombies in this film, like overall throughout these stories. And I like how they all kind of, like, Tom Savini took a different approach with all of this stuff. The Father's Day zombie looks completely different than the ones that show up at the end of the Ted Danson, Leslie Nielsen one, right? So I like it overall. I really love the freaking the coloring in this one, and then they all end with a still frame, and then it goes into the comic book image, and it all starts like that. I love the ending of this one. That's the iconic image where he finally gets his cake, and it's got his granddaughter's head on it or whatever, right? Yeah, I freaking love it. I love it.
This was one that Tom Savini was so excited to do. He was ecstatic because he was doing a lot of slashers and heads blowing up and just heads getting cut off and stuff like that. He, his love started where all of ours did. Universal monsters, you know what I'm saying? Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and, the Mummy. And he felt like, this is my shot. This is my shot to do monsters. You know what I mean? So I thought he did everything he did in this movie, nothing feels the same. It all feels so unique and different. And I love how the father looks when he comes out of the ground. And they said it was just like Rice Krispies, but it just looks so great. And even when they first see the father and he's got the plate with the head on it, and then they're screaming, and they got like the bubbles around their head, and it's just like exclamation. It's just like a comic. I love just the little subtle details. Yeah. And then when they're showing the full moon, one thing I always hate Ed Harris for when he falls into that pit and he sees the thing move and he just
stares at it
and he just get up, dude, get up. But then I look and it's like, does the father have like telekinesis? Because it looks like he who pushed that? So it looks like he pulls it back with some telekinesis or something.
Yeah,
I'm not really tripping on that, but every time I'm like, Ed Harris, get up, dude. Why are you just staring at it? I would have jumped up so quick.
My idea is that he's drunk, right?
Yeah.
He's drunk. He's fallen. He sees this headstone. He's creeped out because there's a corpse next to him, and then there's a walking corpse in front of him. So it just because of how long they linger and cut through for dramatic effect, it really throws it off. But one interesting thing about how they chose this for the first story as well is, first of all, it's short, it's punchy, it gets right to it. But these are the stories that are in the exact comic book that got thrown away. Right? They go out of their way to show us that these are the ones in the book that the kid was reading. Right. What's the first comic book? What's the first story? It's about a person killing their father. Think about that and how that relates to what the kid does at the end. Ooh.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And not only is it a Halloween movie, but it's a Father's Day movie as well.
Right. Yeah. That's funny. Do you want to rate them after, or should we rate? Because I know we talked about the first one, but do you want to rate them after, or do you want to rate them as we go along?
Let's rate them as we go along, and then we can do the whole rating.
Okay. So I guess, do you want to rate the wraparound, or do you want to do the wraparound last?
Well, the wraparound's kind of more tied into the overall rating, I think, right?
Yeah. Okay. That's what I figured. That's why I didn't know. So what would you want to give this one on the rating?
I'd give it 3.5. I think that's fair. It's a rather simple story, but here's the thing. When you're judging it as a story on its own is different than when you judge it as a whole. So I'll say 3.5. It's decent. It's got some dumb moments, but it gets to the point and it doesn't take too long to get there.
Yeah. It has as we know it, the crazy father that has millions of dollars, rich as hell, just screaming at his kids, treating them like garbage, thinking, oh, you guys are just waiting for me to die, and so you can take all my money, you know what I mean? But it gets right to the point, because this one could drag a little bit, and I'm glad they get to the point. It is probably my least favorite of them all. I still love it, though. That's not saying anything, because I do love it, and it feels a little bit more goofy than the other ones, even though I do think the Leslie Nelson one is a little goofy too, but they all have that. They all really have a little goofiness to them, to be honest. You know what I mean? But I think I'd agree 3.5 on this one as well. It does have the least amount of big actors in it, because I don't know. Maybe those older people were bigger. I'm sure those the older people were bigger names, but we just don't really know them, because Ed Harris is the biggest name to me in that skit. So the next one is, but I do adore the way that one is shot, just the cinematography and the lighting and the darkness. Once it gets dark and the cemetery and everything, it just looks so great. So next we get, is it
The Lonesome Death of Jordy Verrill?
That's what I thought. I couldn't think if it was that or the Leslie one.
And all these titles sound exactly like something from Tales from the Crypt.
Right. Yeah, they really do. I always wondered if they were stories from Tales from the Crypt, but they're not. They created these themselves. I'm sure that maybe they have some references to some, or just taking plot points from some that they loved, because obviously they were huge fans of them growing up. But this one might be my favorite, to be honest. I think this one is my favorite. And I think it's a lot of people's favorites, because Stephen King is just absolutely hilarious and
meteor shit.
So goofy in this one, man. so over the top, but it works. Like anything else, it wouldn't work. I don't think anyone could do it because he's not really an actor. So him being kind of like bad and over the top makes it what it is. Makes it how iconic I think it is. I don't know. What do you love about this one though, bro?
Oh man, I love this one. First of all, Stephen King does a great job, I think, performing as Jordy. He nails the buffoon nature of this character. He has to carry the story all on his own. And he does. He keeps it interesting because he's like, he looks doofy. He's very animated in the way that he's delivering his lines.
Mm-hmm.
And you get into it, and it's a little bit more sci-fi, and it's a sad, tragic story because I love that he has all these ideas that he's going to take it and sell it, or now he's going to go to the doctor and find out that he's got to lose his fingers, or he's thinking about what his father would think, and it's the same person that's playing all of those roles. That's a cool bit. But it ends very sad because he just winds up trying to ignore it for the night and try to deal with it in the morning, but there's not enough time. Special effects are amazing. The landscape, there's some animated matte painting type stuff used there, but they also like laid in a lot of that stuff. Like it's such a visual part of this movie because you can visually this is one of the ones that's the most telling the story just through images, right?
Right.
You get what's going on very early on as soon as he starts like blistering at the finger and the lip. And I just love the idea that everything he's touching, he's drinking a bottle of Ripple. That bottle later on has, grass and shit all over it. And then I love when he's like going to get into the tub because it itches. Oh, this itches something fierce. I also love when he finds that vodka and just gets his orange juice and just like cluck. Oh, but I mean, I really like this film. It's got an eerie quality. Like it's really creepy to me at the end when everything's covered in vegetation and the TV's still on, but you just see a faint glow, and just the idea that the TV's playing all night long is I don't know. That's something I really like. I think this one is super, super solid.
I couldn't agree more. Just from, just as it starts, you get the meteor coming down. It has so many great landscapes going for it. But you said those were, what are those called? You said they're like Matt, what are the paintings that they would use? Because that's how they would do their like backgrounds back in the day. I think it's crazy. I think that was that Tom Savini didn't do was the green goo or whatever, the green bump or whatever that it is. But he did do like the head suicide stuff because they had somebody like on the bottom, and then they had to have like somebody working the top half as a puppet to like blow the head off. That shit is so crazy. But I love when he's pouring that bottle of vodka and the orange juice, just takes the bottle and just stirs it in, and he just starts chugging it. He's like, needed that so bad. Geez, man, just as soon as he starts sucking on his fingers though, bro, I'm like, oh, bro, like, what are you doing? You have no clue what you're doing. But that's just freaking Jordy, man. Has no clue what he's doing. Always, what does he say? Verrill luck, always bad, never good, or whatever, Just you just know that the Verrill family is just fucking had probably been through it, you know what I'm saying, over their time on Earth. But it's crazy. Did you hear what I was saying though? That I think the green gump is one of the only things that Tom Savini I think did not create, because I think he did special effects for everything. He did work on the suicide thing though. Like he was like right there, like doing that, because they had like a top puppet half, and they had to have somebody like underneath to play like the legs and everything, and then they needed someone to like pull the shotgun lever. There's so many great things in this one, though.
Dude, and the voice at the end there, too, as he's about to commit. Like, that's really creepy, man.
It's so creepy. What is that called, though, where you said they're, like, painting, like, the sky, like, the background. Like
a matte painting.
Matte, that's what I thought they were, matte paintings. Those are just so gorgeous, man. Like, just from when the meteor's coming down to the end, when you see all the trails, that this is creating all that greenery and Castle Rock, I believe it is too. So that's kind of like a little hint to the Stephen King verse.
Yep.
Oh man, this one is just so so goofy, man. Just so funny, so sad in a way, man, where you just really feel for the guy. You know, you really feel bad for him.
You know, and it is something you would have read in like a Tales from the Crypt, but it also has distinct vibes of something like from Weird Science, which was another EC book. So,
yeah, this is one where it there's no explanation what the hell it is, and I really like that too. So you can kind of leave it up to your own assumption that it's probably some type of alien H.P. Lovecraft life force thing. You know what I mean? And where everything else
it's
is
those fuckers from Empire, the Marvel book. What is it? The Katati or whatever.
What are they?
The plant people, the Katati or whatever.
Oh,
yeah. You didn't read that one, apparently. Don't read it. It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, well, good. Because now I'm never gonna read it. But yeah, man, there's just so much. I just love this one so much, man. I think Stephen King just kills it, man. I think he was so perfect for it. Just like all his facial reactions, like when he comes down, he's like, you know what I'm saying? Just so goofy, man. I love him in this.
Touching moments too. Like this guy's obviously in a town where he's got like 3 or 4 channels. So he's just watching the same channel all night. And eventually late at night, you always get to the preaching, the church show. And then he's talking about like, this is God's purpose and you're going to be okay. And he like kind of like fools himself into thinking maybe it'll be okay. And no.
Yeah, once he sees that shit growing on him and he knows that he was just sucked because he thinks like, oh man, well, okay, maybe I'll just cut my finger. I could just lose my fingers. But then when he's like, I've been sucking on my, you know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm done. I'm a goner, daddy. You know, basically. So that's why it's sad when he just jumps in because he's like, I'm a goner anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's it really is sad, but it's just so funny and. It has a lot of things going for it, and I do really like it, man. It's probably my favorite of them all. It feels timeless. I don't know, and I really do like that they don't really touch on what it is that came to Earth. You know, that it's just a meteor. You know, it's just so funny that I wonder what they'll take down at the college for this. And once he's trying to get his fingers, when he goes in, when he thinks about like imagining like. Taking it to the thing, $200 and not a penny less.
Yeah.
Or like Meryl or whatever. Meryl Verrill didn't raise no idiot. You know what I'm saying?
It's my meteor, my price.
Yeah. And then it's when he throws the water on it and it cracks. He's like, $200 for a broken meteor? You must be out your mind. And then once he's thinking about going in to get his fingers cut off, and he's like. This is gonna really hurt. You know what I'm saying? Just like groping the freaking cleaver and just Jordy's face just in terror. There's just so many funny things about it. I just crack up every time I see it. So
so good.
It is. What do you want to give the rating on this one though, my brother? Unless there's something else you would like to talk about.
I would give this one 4.5. It looks super nice. They're using lots of greens. They obviously have the vegetation that's ever growing. This is one of the more visual ones for me in this movie. I mean, it's weird to say that because it's all visual. You know what I'm saying? But this one meaning that it tells the story visually with really quirky, fun, entertaining commentary from Jordy by Stephen King, right? Like it sells you. It's just long enough. It's got a great pace to it. And a great ending. And like you said, it's kind of unsolved, but you just know this is how a lot of those stories went. You know, you'd have an incident, it gets worse, it gets tragic and done. I think it's really stretching real hard, but in a proper way, a proper stretch with the scene where he's watching the old church. And then it even shows you how hopeless this stuff is because the last thing you hear in that bit is this has been pre-recorded. Like this dude's not even live talking to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it also makes you, it's called the lonesome death. This really paints the picture of someone who is alone and is used to being alone. And I've been in those spots where you're literally alone for a long time and you just kind of get stuck in these ruts and these traps. And I think what this story is trying to tell. I think it's a more powerful statement than the first one. So I'm going 4.5. I think it's amazing.
That is a good point, man. Where you're so used to being by yourself. Where he's on this farm all by himself, living there day and night, just watching TV, getting drunk, and he's at the end of he knows he's dying, or he's gonna die, and he doesn't he doesn't reach out for help or anything. He just basically accepts it and basically is like nobody's gonna care anyways. No one's gonna notice.
Yeah.
No one's probably gonna find me for weeks or something. You know what I'm saying? Months. Who knows? So it really is. It really hits a lot of points. But yeah, that would be crazy, Mary Death, if that was the same shotgun from the Prowler and the Maniac car jump scene. That'd be crazy. I don't know if it is though. But yeah, I agree. I'm gonna give this a 4.5 as well. I do. I love the way this is shot. I love the atmosphere. I love the photography on it. It's just so great. The lighting, everything. It's just so great. So fantastic. I have so much fun with it. 4.5 is definitely right there.
Nice.
So the next one is the Leslie Nelson one, correct?
Nielsen.
Sorry, I'm gonna screw that up all night.
Something to tide you over.
Yeah.
Cheesy name, just like they would have done in those comics.
Right. Yeah. They all have great names, definitely. Except I think the first one is just probably Father's Day.
And then the other one's just the Crate. But yeah.
The Crate, yeah. I love that one.
Something to tide you over.
Yeah. That's the best titled one.
I think so.
Oh. So this one starts with Leslie Nielsen, basically knocking on Ted Danson's door while he's on the phone. And basically you find out that Ted Danson's been screwing Leslie Nielsen's wife that he doesn't even care about, and he even says it, but what's his is his, and he don't let it go so easily.
You get the idea that he's this big mover and shaker, and he gets what he wants, and he obviously knows so much about this technology. He probably like runs like Sony or like the American division of Sony or whatever. Like he knows so much about the TVs and stuff. He's very rich and wealthy. He's got all those cameras. He's into the new technology. Right. It's really crazy. 82. Everybody's like, well, look at all those TVs he has.
Right?
Wow.
The freaking, just him bringing the TV to the freaking beach. Like,
dude, my favorite part of that is because there's no like cellular or nothing, right? There's no Wi-Fi, and he's got to drag this long ass fucking cord out there. That's a weird stretch, man.
It's so crazy. I love when the crab is like in front of Ted Danson's face, and he's like, "Get it out of here, Richard!" Like,
because it's a cut too, right? It just cuts to that, and then he like wakes up, and he's like, "Oh."
Yeah. Like, I think this guy left you here to die, bro. Like, I don't think he cares if a crab's about to bite you. He's like, he's just getting revenge, man. He's like,
look, you made a friend.
Yeah. You made a friend, huh? This one is wild though, man. It has some levels to it, no doubt. Can't just go around freaking cheating on your rich husband, because if he's got the money and the utensils, he can get you back tenfold, man. And
the other thing though is
beaches and shit.
Just because you're some kind of rich, powerful, big mover and shaker doesn't mean that you have the right to treat people like this either, right? Yeah. Because definitely. He gets his at the end. So, I mean, I don't believe him. I don't believe that he can hold his breath for a really long time.
Right. But I think Leslie Nielsen is great in this, man. I think
it's so against what we see him as. We see him as more of a Jordy character in things like The Naked Gun. And I think, the police story and all those kind of things, this is a different role for him. And it's really interesting to see Ted Danson in this thing. I'm a huge fan of Cheers. So Ted Danson being in this to me was like freaking awesome. I loved it.
I think both of them being in this was just so mind blowing to me. And I think they both just do great. Especially, Leslie Nielsen really, steals the show, because you don't see him as this menacing, crazy guy, like this guy is off his rocker, you know what I mean? Where he's literally watching them drown on television, pouring himself a cup of scotch, just like
you see that he gets bothered by it, though, right?
He's like,
he gets bothered by it.
Does
for
he?
a moment? Yeah, because there's a moment where like it's when he's noticing his wife like getting kind of swallowed up. He's kind of like he looks down. He's almost like this isn't as fun. But then you get to the point where he goes into his room and he's got those tapes and he's like, "Oh, now where is that one? You know what those tapes are? There's him doing the same type of thing, man. Right?
Oh yeah. I know
this guy's serial killer.
Crazy.
My overall thoughts on this one, Dylan. I know that you said that this wasn't one of your favorite ones. This is probably
I love this one.
This may be one of my favorites. I freaking love this one. Like this one blows me away. Leslie Nielsen and Ted Danson Ted Danson's playing the character that we're used to seeing him play, but in a different situation. That's very unfamiliar. And then Leslie Nielsen is playing a character we do not see him play. Yeah. And it's so crazy. I love the idea of technology and watching and the idea of the tide. That's an incredibly scary thought to like know that you're going to drown and there's nothing you can do. And it just keeps coming and coming and coming. And it's a terrible form. It's a torturous form of death. Yeah. And then the classic, they come back, zombies get him. And I love when Leslie Nielsen's trying to convince himself, the tide drug him out. Yeah. The undertow got him. Yeah. Station Jen. But I love this one. I think it's great. And it doesn't do a lot of those color tricks until the end. Yeah. When they come back and it gets this like sickly green, not quite the alien sci-fi reanimator
like green
from but like and they're all covered in seaweed and they just look gnarly. And this is showing me where Savini's about to be taking zombies just a few years later in Day of the Dead. So I love this one, bro. Yeah,
it's great. I don't know. Did I say that I didn't like this one? Because I love this.
I thought you said you didn't like the third one very much.
I might have just got it mixed up. But no. That was Creepshow 2. The third story in Creepshow 2. Okay. The hit and run one. Yeah, that's the one. I don't like that one really. But yeah, I love this one just because it's just so crazy to see Leslie Nielsen play this freaking crazy serial killer, like you said. And I love seeing Ted Danson just become a freaking seaweed zombie at the end. It's wild, you know.
And it's heartbreaking. Like when he's watching his lover on the TV and she starts saying his name, Henry. Yep. And like you can see that he's just like, oh, that's like a terrible thought. That's a terrible thought. And it's one of those moments where you're ready to see Leslie Nielsen get got. Yeah. And it's also each one of these represents a different style of story that you would see in a Haunt of Fear or Tales from the Crypt. And this is one that you'll see this very often in those stories where it's two people talking and almost witty kind of banter, right? And then you get slowly to the point. So I think this one's good too. It's got a nice solid pace to it, brilliant performances, and a really, really nice script. The script is not super overboard. The dialogue, and I think the dialogue's a little overboard in some of the others, but I think this is one of the best written ones and one of the best performed ones.
Definitely agree on that. I love the way Leslie Nielsen's house looks too, or it's just he owns that whole beach and just he's got the setup in there, like you said, all the TVs, and it just looks incredible, man. Great set design on that one, no doubt. Honestly, all of them have really great set designs. They all feel secluded in a way, but that one feels the biggest. They all feel really secluded, especially the bug one at the end, Jordy Verrill, and then the mansion. They all feel so secluded, but this one feels a little bit bigger because of the beach. But it still feels secluded because you just feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? And like he even says, like he's like, no, you can scream all you want, no one's coming. I own all this,
He helps him scream.
Yeah, right.
What is it? Is it Comfort Point or something like that, right?
Something like that, yeah. I forget. But and then when you see Ted Danson I love Leslie Nielsen pours his drink and he's just, dancing like in front of dancing like I'm ready to watch this, Sick, man. Just so sick. It's crazy. Anything else you want to mention before we get into the rating on this one? Or did I freeze?
It's been a while since I did the bit on you.
You got me. Good one.
I'm going to go 4.5 for this one for all the reasons I said. I think this one's incredibly well written, very well paced, and very well performed. This I am always engaged when I'm watching this one. Sometimes it's a different. I've watched this movie so many times that sometimes certain ones will be like, oh, I get it, but I'm ready to move on to the next one. But this is one that always I'm just like entranced by. Great performances, casting against type. I really like it. So I'm giving this one 4.5. One of my favorites of the whole bit.
Hell yeah. This and the Jordy Verrill are my two favorites out of the 5. I guess you would say there's 5. And so I'm gonna agree with you on that one, bro. 4.5 all day. I absolutely love this. And it looks so good. That is Ted Danson too in that makeup. So that's even cooler too, that he went through all that.
And how cool is the bit where you actually see his head in the water?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I love it. And he's screaming. He's like, ah. I love that too.
And
man.
dude, you see him like struggling to hold his breath and he's losing it. I'm like, bruh, like they had to like put him under there for a while to get that shot. Like that was really freaking good.
Yeah. I wonder how they did that too. Cause I mean, you see the sand. I'm sure maybe it was like a square box or something. I don't know, man. But it looks good. It looks great, without a doubt. Oh shoot. I always forget. There's actually like 6 because there's the crate. We still got the crate, and then you got the bug one. Yeah. So there's 6. There's 6. Because wrap around the Father's Day, Jordy Verrill, this one,
the crate,
and then the
creeping
bug
up
one.
on you. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's 6. Yeah. I thought there was 5. Huh. But yeah. 4.5, no doubt. Damn, I forgot about the crate because I love the crate too, man. So the crate is the next one.
The crate is the next one.
The crate is the next one. We get the legendary Adrienne Barbeau. We get Hal Holbrook. You know what I mean? These guys, these two are great. Just two total opposites. The crazy, bitchy one that is just so nasty to Hal Holbrook, who just seems like just the sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? That has just been getting put down and beaten by this woman. You know what I'm saying? He's just taking it to where every word she says to him, he is picturing how to kill her in the worst way possible. You know what I mean? Just like, I love when she's just standing by the tree and he's like, what is her name? Norma, I think, or whatever. Or Billy. Right, Billy. Like, hey, Billy. You know what I'm saying? Or she's like, she says like, what's wrong or something. He's like, boom, blows her head. Not a thing, Billy.
Everybody claps.
It's so great. This one I love too. Just once they bring in the crate, Fluffy, man. This is the crate. The Fluffy is my favorite monster out of all these, no doubt.
Fluffy looks amazing.
So amazing. And I remember Tom Savini said that like the teeth on him, like they had to be careful because when he like bites the guy in the neck, like those teeth were really sharp, they said, and they almost like punctured the guy's neck or something. But I just think Hal Holbrook and Adrienne are just so freaking fantastic in this. What do you think about this one, brother?
It's got some of my favorite lighting effects, like when the monster pops out, and it goes to those it looks like Argento, right? Yeah. Like all of a sudden it's like they're in
yellow eyes.
I like this one, but I don't think I think it's I don't like it as much because this to me drags the film a little bit as a whole.
It does a little.
Like this is the longest by far out of all of them. Like most of them are around like 20 minutes long. This one's like almost like 40. Like it's like 30 to 40 minutes. This one's long. And to me, it feels a little bit long. So I'll dock it a little bit for that. But like, I still enjoy it. The idea of this dude fantasizing about killing his wife because she's drunk, obnoxious, and annoying, and very, very emasculating to him, right? Like in front of people. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing him. It's embarrassing the people around him, and it's hurting his friendships and probably hurting his career. You get the idea. They're all professors. They're at this party, right? And like you just feel the tension at first. It just takes a while to really get the whole story told. When the dude has his idea to to use the monster to kill his wife.
Right.
Like, it takes a while to get there. It could have been tightened up. It could have been tightened up had they would have taken the other professor out of it and just put, like, it was him that got called to the archaeological department or whatever, right? But they didn't go that route, and it's fine. It's still cool. It's got great monster effects. The creature effects in this are freaking phenomenal, and the lighting, everything is. It does drag a little bit, and for me, it drags up the movie. A movie that's actually very punchy slows down, but I think they knew that this was going to be, they wanted this to be the crux of the film. This was supposed to be the one. And to me, it's not the one, but it's still really, really good. I still really, really like it.
Yeah, I love it. It does, take a little long because I'd like to get more Fluffy in there without, you know what I mean? It's like we get this awesome freaking iconic, like Fluffy is iconic nowadays. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's one of the biggest things of this movie. I mean, he just looks so good, and we don't really get much of him, to be honest. I know that has parts of like how he was built and everything, because he's kind of like more like a upper half. You know what I mean? But he just looks so good, and it takes so long to get to him. Because we have the whole story of Hal Holbrook and Billy and his hate, and you gotta get through how much he hates her and how mean and brutal she is to him, to kind of get to the side story of, there's this crate that they find, and that's going to be how he figures like, this is how I can finally get my dream come true and get her killed. You know what I mean? Or because I don't have the balls to kill her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he has the ability to go on these weird stretches and clean everything up, and I don't know. It also has a couple different endings. It feels like one of the endings is, "Hey, Supreme Comics Girl, DiGiorno and Cokes." Hell, it reminds me of those. Remember those commercials? I have a DiGiorno on the rocks. You remember that? Anyway, super hot bartender. Anyway. It has that ending. Then it has the ending where he's trying to convince his buddy. It's almost like, I killed her and I'm going to let everybody, we're going to get away with this. But if you don't play ball, I'm going to act like it's on you. And it's kind of like his way of being like, so you better play chess with me 3 times a week. It's such a weird, it's like, this guy's pathetic as shit, man. No wonder Billy treats him like this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. But
and what's up with Billy drinking milk and fucking bourbon or whatever the hell? That's like,
is that what that was?
I hope it was butter shots, like butter schnapps or something like that. But that would be, I've actually drinking milk and butter shots before, and it's okay. But like, and I know people that do that, right? But like, that's so gross. And she like takes it with her, and she drinks this whole giant thing. It just feels like, if I drink too much tonight and I do harf, I'm not gonna want to be harfing milk. But I guess that's
something.
It makes it cooler when it comes back out, because liquor sucks, right? Coming back out.
Right. Yeah. But I don't know. I definitely think it could have been tightened up. We didn't really need that professor. You know what I'm saying? Like it could have been, like you said, that he just gets called in to do it. That would have tightened it up and made things a little bit better. But as a kid, I always adored this one because I love Fluffy. And it's so hard sometimes to choose what my favorite is. It's definitely like these, the Jordy Verrill, Leslie Nielsen, and this one. Those are always like my 3 favorites, and some days maybe, one is my favorite and the other is, you know what I mean? It's that type of movie. But I always love this one. I just always was bummed that we didn't get more of the Fluffy monster, because he's just so freaking cool and gnarly and just so scary looking, man. Just those teeth, bro. Just so crazy, bro. And just the idea that this monster has been in this crate for how long? Hundreds, thousands of years. Like, who knows, bro? Like, it's just crazy, bro. And this is one I feel like they could have done like a cool origin story on for like the Creepshow TV show, and kind of done like the origin of like how it all started and how he got put in that crate.
Don't you want to know? Yeah, the Arctic expedition in the 1800s or whatever, and how he wound up in this crate, and how he was able to survive being there for so long. And
right, with no food or nothing. You know what I mean? Like just stuck in that crate. That's like
that poor janitor, man. That poor janitor. He's the only good person in this whole goddamn bit, and he gets killed first.
He gets so fucked up, bro. Oh man, arm ripped. Ugh. It's just that's so creepy too. Like when you just see those yellow eyes, man. Like in the dark, you just see nothing but the yellow eyes. Oh, it looks so good. Yeah, there's some great lighting in this, no doubt. You know, like when it goes red, when he's like trying to like when Hal Holbrook's trying to like kind of bring her like to scoot in and like underneath the stairs or whatever. It's so good, man. There's so many great things in this. They did, like George Romero, man. They really took their time on that lighting and just the atmosphere of this whole movie. It's just so great.
I love it because in other things they would be like a director of photography or a producer would be like, "Oh, this doesn't make sense. We're not going to do it this way." But like they knew exactly what they were doing. They were trying to mimic what those panels look like, and they were unapologetically doing it. And I love it for that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. So much fun with this one, man. I know that's one of Tom Savini's like favorite things too that he ever created was Fluffy. They got to bring him back one day, bro. Especially since they got the Creepshow TV series now. Yeah, that would just be so cool. Definitely need a prequel Arctic expedition. You know, that'd be so cool. So cool. Is there anything else you want to mention on this one?
Not good. Let's rate it.
Okay. What are you thinking on this one, my brother?
4.
4?
4 out of 5. 4 you digs. 4 slips. Whatever. It drags out a little bit too long for me. It slows the pace of the movie. Whenever I watch this film, that's usually the moment where I get, all right, it's time to move on. Like, but they did make a clean 2-hour movie, and for the anthology nature, it doesn't feel super long, but this one feels long. It feels long compared to the others. But I still like it. It is a very intriguing story. Fluffy looks amazing. 4 you digs.
Yeah. We're just eye and eye on this one, bro. I give it 4 as well. When I went to go back and watch this, I was like, wow, it is 2 hours. You know, that's surprising for an anthology too. You know what I mean? Especially back in the 80s. Everything was an hour and a half. You know what I mean? So for this to be 2 hours and to do as well as it did, it's just fantastic and phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Haven't said that in a while.
Phenomenal.
But I think they did great with this. It does slow it up a little bit, because we get the exposition with Billy and Hal Holbrook and, his hate for her and how she treats him and how, everyone around Hal kind of feels about her because you just see she's so loud and obnoxious. But I feel like you cut the other professor out. You know what I'm saying? I think that it would be perfect. You know what I'm saying? You could still keep that janitor in there, but Hal is the one to go and open it up with him. And then once he finds out, you know what I'm saying? You don't need any of that stupid, we'll play chess 3 times a week like that. You know what I'm saying? That's goofy. It's fun, but it drags it a bit, just a bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. And
for a story that is not necessarily the deepest, and not trying to say that each one of these is incredibly deep, but there are moments that we have pointed out in all of these stories so far. Right. But this one is a little bit more just kind of about a dude who hates his wife,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, getting shit on by his wife all his life, I guess.
Yeah, but you do realize why is because if he's the kind of guy who's like, he is basically killed his wife and is now using this situation to manipulate this other professor into playing chess, into being his friend. He is a pathetic fucking guy. So you do by the end of this understand, because at first you're like, oh, why is she treating him like that? But when you get to the end, you're like, yeah, I get why she's treating him like this. Yeah. Right. But I don't know. The problem is when you have the professor go there at first, the other professor, the dude, when he goes there and the janitor got, then he calls the other guy. Now he has to come, and you basically get a replay of almost the same type thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's all right. It's still good. It's still super good.
Yeah. Then you get the whole Billy reading the note of all that's went on and him just kind of trying to set her up and
I do love that moment though, where he's telling her like that he's like, oh yeah, he's involved with the student and she's under the stair and he like can't help but smile and laugh.
Yeah. He's like, oh,
he's so fucking giddy with excitement.
What would you do without me? You know,
but I feel like they had Hal Holbrook and they had Adrienne Barbeau, and I feel like they thought that, and especially with the Fluffy effect by Tom Savini, I feel like they thought that this was the anchor of the film. And for most people, it is. This is the iconic moment. This is the bit that they remember. Is the crate, because who doesn't have some a-hole in their life that they want to throw a monster at, you know?
Right. Definitely. That's so funny. Yeah, but everyone loves the crate, no doubt. Everyone always loves the crate. But you know, it's just this is a movie that just has so many great ones in it, without a doubt. Yep. So next is what is it, Creeping Up on You, or what is it?
They're creeping up on you.
Yeah. And who does this one have? Who is this guy? He was an iconic actor, but he was a little bit older at this time.
Yeah, what is this guy's name?
The E.G. Marshall, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. What was he in?
I'm not sure. I know that they were so excited to get this guy. I remember.
In tons of stuff. 12 Angry Men. Yeah, he's old school.
He played Art in National Lampoon's Christmas, The President, Superman 2.
He is in Superman 2. He's the president in Superman 2. Yeah, you're right. Oh my God.
Two Evil Eyes. He plays Stephen Pike. So man, he's got a lot of stuff on here.
Yeah, he's in Tommyknockers, bruh.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
He's in an episode of Tales from the Dark Side as well. No way, he's in Tommyknockers. I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, he's Ev Hillman in Tommyknockers. He was in Chicago Hope for 8 episodes. Yeah. He was in the Nixon movie with Hannibal Lecter, Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, really? He played in an episode.
He died in 98. He died in 98 at 84. He's amazing in this. I'll tell you this right now. I think this might be my favorite one.
Is it?
I think it might be This is genuinely okay. I've watched this movie with a lot of people in my life.
Right.
This is the one that really fucking scares people. This is the one that I know some people that cannot watch this. Yeah. This bit. They cannot watch this story. They have like a bug phobia, like cockroach phobia, right? Because this is why I love it so much. Everything here is a complete, something you would get in a Tales from the Crypt. This bit in particular feels the most Romero. Romero likes to talk about like social hierarchy and the working class versus the bigwigs. This is something you see in his movies, the blue collar versus the white collar. This is about a super rich guy who he's caused this one guy, he bought out his company and he's killed himself. That backstory is put there for a reason. The way that he's viewing bugs is the same way he views people.
Yeah.
He lives in this tower, this pristine place that's like supposed to be all white and clean and whatnot. He's a racist character. Like when he gets the one dude to come up there and he's the black dude who is the guy from the beginning of Dawn of the Dead that's arguing with the white dude, right? Yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, he's just doing the thing. He's like, oh yeah, you're a good one, aren't you? You're a good one. And then like, dude, like this movie is saying, this bit is saying a lot, and it's doing it in an incredibly fucking creepy way. Like I watch this stuff and none of it really affects you. But every time I watch this, I go, I mean, they're not just cockroaches. They get to these giant ass cockroaches. It's in his cereal that he's eating. Like they're all over the place. And then you get this almost idea, is he imagining it at the end? And then one of the best bits is all of the cockroaches erupting from him at the end. God. I love it because this is totally out of all of them, this is the most Romero. This feels like this is the most influenced by him as far as the story goes. You know what I'm saying? I love the idea that. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's this dude who thinks that like he has the power. Like, I'll fire this guy. This guy's on vacation and he's threatening to fire him. He's calling him in Florida. And he is so just myopic and one-minded about like he's the center of the fucking universe, right? Yeah. And you almost get the idea that I can't remember the guy's name, But the black dude who's like trying to help him, and you almost get the idea that like there's something nefarious going on, like they're doing it to him, or the widow of the dude that killed himself is doing it, right? But that's what this is about. This is about the top like guys behind the corporation shitting all over the working class, thinking they're all bugs. And that's what he says. He says, just like everybody else, they're all bugs. Mm-hmm. They're all vermin, and they're all just disgusting. And I want to get rid of them and kill them and keep everything in my perfect white place. Do you get what I'm saying? It's a very subtle thing about classism and racism, bro. I fucking love this one. I think it's the best one. And on top of that, genuinely fucking
dude, those are all real bugs. Yep. When they're popping out of him, those are all real bugs. Like that was one of the hardest scenes they had to film because they needed the bugs to literally come out of him. You know what I'm saying? And just, oh my God. Behind the scenes watching that, it is so crazy, bro. I literally want to go back and watch that now because I never thought about it like that, bro. But like I've kind of like where he'll like throw the hints that everyone's bugs and stuff. But man, that makes me really want to go back and watch that skit now again.
Pay attention to the way he talks to that dude when he finds out that he's black. He says something like, "Oh, you're one of the good ones."
Yeah.
And then later on, when the bugs come back, he says some other shit like, "I should have known it. You're just like all the others." Like it's movies about that bit in particular is real. I really like it because it doesn't go into the crazy lighting effects. Yeah. And like this feels, I mean, it does to a point when the power goes out, right? But like
you got the white walls and everything, you know?
Yeah, exactly. This feels different than what came before. And this is, I think, Romero more so making a statement. But I don't know that for sure. But I think this is it's the most out of all of them, and it's about classism and racism. So
hey Jay Strick, thanks for stopping in, brother. So 5 slips.
Jay wanted to be here today, but he had a Digimon tournament.
I know. We were trying to figure it out if we could, went a little later, but he's like, I'm going way later than I thought, so sucks. But we'll have to get him in here for when we do maybe the Creepshow TV series or Tales from the Dark Side, definitely, so.
White's not a color fable, it's a value.
But I miss you, Jay Strick. I hope to get you on here as soon as possible, my brother. And, dude, Wasteland. Been watching this hundreds of times, bro. So many times I can't. Like, I literally didn't need to watch this. I know it all, you know what I'm saying? But you guys know I have to always watch it because I just love it fresh in the head.
You're fucking doing this show's an excuse to rewatch it, man.
Exactly, dude. You know what it is. But yeah, this one is just, you know what I'm saying? Anyone with a bug fetish. I love Fable said it too. He's like, this one was just so weird that, what do you say? They're creeping up on you is probably the most creepiest thing I've ever seen as a child. It was so bad they left this one out when they aired it on TV. I did not know that, but that is wild, bro. That is wild. So I don't know if I ever saw it on TV, to be honest.
I don't think I did either. But you got to think, if they have a 2-hour block with commercials, they would, cutting that out would probably make it fit.
Yeah. Oh, true.
And it is disturbing. Like people, there's all kinds of phobias out there, but I don't know what the official term is, but fear of bugs and insects hits a lot of fucking people. A lot. And I'm not necessarily scared of them, but like in roaches, the connotation behind them, like, and dude, they're using these like crazy exotic roaches. Some of them are like this fucking big, bro. Yeah. And they're in his cereal. They're in his bed. Ugh.
I forget. They said they were like African cockroaches or something, and they weren't supposed to let any get loose, and they were like, maybe a few got loose or something. You know what I mean? Like, because they were saying that they had that whole set like contained off because obviously, like you said, so many people are just weirded out by all that stuff. So there were like so many people were just like standing in corners, like just scared, terrified, but they had to get the job done. It's just so funny.
I mean, like I was talking about real quick, I see Mary Death and Fable mentioning this too. And like, I get it 100%. They didn't go into the crazy colors in this one because I think they're making a point. It's a white room infested with these cockroaches that when you see them en masse look like just white and black. Like his white room, his white world being invaded by the vermin, right? And like I think that's very, very freaking intentional.
I always exactly.
I haven't eaten I haven't eaten any cereal since I watched this.
So. I always thought the same, like just that the white, that is the color, you know.
It is.
It's part of like the secludedness that this guy has set himself in, you know, and just the weirdness that this guy has just put himself, just living with bugs, you know what I mean? Just all the entire white room, it gives it just the weirdest vibe. Honestly, the white room makes it the creepiest of them all, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Just like it being white, it makes it more. It just makes it pop a little bit more. I feel like, you know, I don't know. It definitely makes the bugs pop a little bit more.
And it doesn't take too long at all.
Not at all. Not at all. But yeah, preach the Romero. Preach it, Robbie.
Yeah, Romero is always making social commentary and everything he's doing. And this is the most Romero, I think, of the whole bit of Creepshow.
Yeah. Oh, scorpions would creep me out too. Ugh. No doubt. Ugh. Their tails. Yeah. Ugh. Keep checking your popcorn while you watch.
Yep. Those aren't raisins.
Oh my God. Is there anything else you want to mention on this one, or you want to get into the rating?
I'll get into the rating. I'm 5 you digs. This to me is the best. It's got that commentary. It's enough on the level that you can pick up on it, but it's subtle enough that you can just view this as a creepy ass fucking cockroach infestation horror film. Freaking every time I watch it, I literally like, it gives me the chills, man. Like, yeah. There's a lot of like bug stuff in movies, and I'm fine with most of it, but this one, it just, when they start popping out of them, and you just see that slow trickle of blood. Mm-hmm. And then it just like, and bro,
yeah, they like put blood in there, so like when you even watch the bugs like hit the white floor, you see them leaving a little trail of blood. So they went for it on this one, bro. Like,
yeah, man.
You know,
can you imagine what it's like to make this bit too? I bet so many of them were all like, ugh! Like they didn't want to be in the room, or they like.
That's exactly, bro. That's exactly how they work, because they go into it deep on the behind the scenes, and show and tell. I'll show there's something I got to that they have this has so much, you know, behind the scenes and everything, but then they also have Synopsis put out their own documentary for Creepshow as well.
Nice. So, yeah, I haven't gotten to devour all this stuff yet, but I love that one of the bits is about the restoration with Michael Gornick, who was the cinematographer, and it's called The Colors of Creepshow.
I was just going to say, they have one just on the colors, so
that's so dope.
Man, it's awesome. Yeah, I haven't gotten to devour all these. I have seen the documentary I was just talking about, but I haven't gotten to devour. Ooh, how did I forget? Dude, this is so late for horror news, but Hail to the Deadites. The Evil Dead documentary came out a couple days ago. That it was screened, but the weird thing is, it doesn't have a Blu-ray release, but you can get it on Amazon right now. I think it's maybe like $15. I gotta pick that up because I was hoping that they would. So far, there's nothing on a Blu-ray release or anything. So far, it's just strictly digital. I'm sure they're gonna eventually, because I believe Scream Factory is the one that did it. I'm pretty sure, but I gotta check that out because
maybe they're working on a box set.
Maybe that would be cool. That would make sense, you know. I wonder though.
40th anniversary of Evil Dead. That's why.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to ruin anything yet because we're revealing the full lineup tomorrow night on Rock and Robbie Live, but Evil Dead is part of Horror Fest at PCP, baby.
Hell yeah.
Get ready.
Hell yeah.
And we are also doing it on the exact date of its first release.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yes. That's and it's coming back to theaters. So get ready.
Right. I can't wait. I can't wait for the new one too, bro. Can't wait. Hell yeah. So before I forget, because I'm going to give it a 4. I mean, I do want to rewatch it though. Now thinking about that social commentary you were talking about, but this was never one of like my all-time favorites. I always loved it and always was so creeped out by the bugs and everything, and just the ending with them blowing out of his freaking body. But I always just loved, like the crate a little bit more, and the Jordy Verrill. But it doesn't take away from any of this. Obviously, I rated them like all 4 5s. But yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 4.
Gotcha.
I still love it, and I might feel dumb and might want to have given it a 4 or 5 after I go back and watch it after hearing what you said, because whenever you dive into stuff like that, it makes me like it even more. So,
Well, thank you. It's there. I mean, I think you'll appreciate that when you check it out this time.
Yeah.
Put that on your mind.
I'm definitely, that's probably, I'm gonna do that right after we end this sucker, probably.
Nice.
But yeah, I definitely recommend you guys checking that out on Amazon. I think it's $15 for an awesome Evil Dead documentary, and I think it was like a Evil Dead documentary for the fans. So, and kind of what Evil Dead the series has meant to the fans over the years. So that's gonna be a cool one to watch, no doubt. So let's get into the last one. Last but not least, the wraparound. We've already kind of talked on this, so we might not really speak on too much more. We might get more into the rating, but obviously I love the wraparound, the way it ends, you know what I'm saying, where you get the garbage men coming. It's daylight now, and
Tom Savini's one of them.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy? The other guy is someone from a Romero film too, but I can't quite place him. I couldn't quite place him. I'm pretty sure that guy is.
Let me see. I'm not sure.
He seemed like he was.
I know. I know who you're talking about too. And let me see if I can.
Marty Schiff. Marty Schiff.
There's no picture for him. It says he was in Dawn of the Dead though.
Yeah, I thought he was in Dawn of the Dead. I think he's the guy that's like, he played one of the biker gangs, right? Like, yeah. And he's in Night Riders, and he's in Dawn of the Dead. He's in Night Riders. Okay.
Motorcycle Raider.
He's one of the bikers. Yeah. There you go. I knew
that's why he did look familiar to me as well. I just didn't really think of that. Yeah, nice pick. Let's see. But yeah, I love, when because I believe when you pick it up, you see the ad, or you see the ad ripped out. Am I correct? I'm forgetting for a second.
They show the voodoo doll ad earlier, but when they do it this one, he goes, "Hey, you want a voodoo doll?" And he goes, "Can't. Someone's already clipped out the coupon."
That's what it is. Yep. And then you see the sun freaking
I got a crick in my neck, honey.
Yeah.
Ow.
Oh my God.
He's just trying to eat his cornflakes, and he's just like,
I told you, you were gonna rot in hell, you son of a bitch.
Who would have thought that Joe Hill would have become a horror writer with the joyful glee that he's showing as a kid, like stabbing his fucking dad's voodoo?
Oh my God. Stephen King was like, "You're having a little too much fun with this, son."
Right, man.
But yeah, I do. I absolutely love Tom Atkins. If it was anybody else, I might not love it as much. Obviously, I'd love like what the kid does, and it's just hilarious. But if it was anybody else, I might not love the wraparound as much. I'm not saying that it's bad or anything. I love the vibe that it gives, and it kind of brings to the whole story, and kind of, brings it all around. But just because it's Tom Atkins makes me just always just so hype and ready to like get into this movie, just to see like Tom Atkins just bitch smack his kid.
Yeah.
Like that's why God made fathers, babe. That's why God made fathers. It's just, I love it, man. I love Tom Atkins so much. I just love it, man. And
the dates are here.
Yeah. Bad news though. They're dead. But yeah, man, my man is just so iconic, bro. I love him in Halloween 3. I love him in Night of the Creeps. Just, dude, I love him in this. So
The Fog. I mean, so many great films that he's in.
I love The Fog, bro. Oh my God. Tom without his stash. That's another thing too. Tom without the stash.
Is it The Fog in which he shows his ass, or was it Halloween 3? One of them. He's like, because he even mentions it in Search of Darkness. He's like, yeah, you saw. I have no ass. He was like, I have no ass.
Yeah, I know. That's so funny. It is Halloween 3.
Yeah, because he like hooks up with that chick. Doesn't he hook up with Jamie Lee Curtis in The Fog though?
Yeah. Yep. So I love he talks about that too. He's like, I just pick up this chick, and she's like, "Are you weird?" And he's like, "Yes, I am." yes, I am weird, you know. And then he's like,
It cuts.
and then I'm banging her, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? He's like, because I'm a stud like that. Or he says something. He's like, he knows it himself. He's like, it's so goofy. He's like, I'm just pulling these chicks just left and right. He's like, I'm just good like that. You know
Sometimes
what
it
I'm
happens like that. You get the right case of scrotum neck, and you just can't keep people off of you.
saying? Right. Hey, that's my dog. What's up, Robbie? Yeah, man, that's so funny. But yeah, man, I just adore Tom Atkins in this, and I think Joe Hill, man, for just being a little kid, no acting experience, I think he did great too,
Well,
man.
and just the animatronic creep, and then the
Oh my
going
god, yeah.
into the animation and making it feel like it's a comic book. I will give the framing sequence a 5. I think it's one of the
5.
best framing sequences I've seen in a film like this. 100%.
What do you
Framing
mean?
sequences can usually be cheesy, like the
You
book
mean-
ending.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like the wraparound, whatever you want to call it. Like it sometimes they come across really cheesy or dumb, or they don't really have a punch. This one's got a great punch, and it makes sense all the way through, and then it hits this moment. I think it's a perfect way to end the film for sure.
Yeah. Definitely. It definitely is. So you're giving the wraparound a 5?
Yeah,
Nice. Wow.
I know.
You know what? Because wraparounds are very hard to do. I'm gonna give it a 5 as well. Because wraparounds are very hard to freaking accomplish and get done the right way. You know what I'm saying? And it usually doesn't really connect to the whole plot at all. It's kind of just, like its own little thing. But this one actually kind of goes with the story. It sets everything up, and it goes like right into the, comic, framing mine, when you got the creep. And I just, dude, I'll give it a 5 just for freaking Razul, or what. I gotta figure out what Tom Savini called him, because I love the creep in this, man. The animatronics on him are just so great. So great. But yeah. So as a whole, what are we gonna give Creepshow as a whole? We've given, what did it? I didn't write them down. We gave the wraparound a 5. We gave Creeping Up on You. You gave it a 4.5, and I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 5.
You gave the bug one a 5?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And then the crate, you gave it a 4, and I gave it a 4. And then the Ted Danson one, you gave it a 4.5, and I gave it a 4.5. The Jordy Verrill one, we both gave it 4.5s. And the birthday cake one, we gave it 3.5s both. And that would be it, because we said the wraparound, we gave it a 5. So what are we going to give this as a whole movie and as a whole anthology?
As a whole movie, it is incredibly strong. It's one of the strongest films in a year of strong films, which is 1982. Same year that gave us E.T., gave us The Thing, gave us Blade Runner, gave us Poltergeist, I think, right? And Tron, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great year for film, sci-fi, horror, especially. And I think that it all works together. I really do feel like the crate slows up the movie. And that's a little bit of a problem for me.
Yeah.
But music by John Harrison is amazing.
So good.
The special effects by Tom Savini and his company are amazing. The script is great. It's really amazing in some bits. It's okay in others, but it's all doing what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
And George A. Romero being very versatile with his style and making it feel cohesive.
Yeah.
So as a whole, I'm actually going to give it 4.5 you digs.
No, hey,
4.5. Not
definitely.
super perfect, but
Yeah.
the way it all comes together, it's better than the sum of its parts for the most part.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with that. In Backlog Bros, like in Backlogs, that's like a fucking 11. So
Yeah,
I mean, it's a really good score. 4.5. I'm good with that. I am trying to be a little bit less of a homer when I'm reviewing movies that I absolutely love.
yeah.
Because if this was Horror Fest, we'd give it 5 you digs. So we just give everything 5 you digs during Horror Fest.
Right.
But I think it's a good solid 4.5, but it's on the upper level of 4.5.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It's probably more of a 4.69.
4.69, no doubt. Dude, I agree with you. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 as well. It definitely, like you said, in the middle, no doubt. The only thing that really kind of takes away from it is that the crate drags just a tiny bit. I feel like if we would have just cut out that stuff with the professor and the chest goofiness, that you would it would just trimmed the fat a little bit. It would have been perfect 5. But the one thing that I do like about them doing the chest part is that you really do get to see the Hal Holbrook. You see what Billy sees. That's the only good part about it, but you don't need all that to really see. You could have done anything. You didn't have to give us that, extra 15 minutes just to figure out that he's that much of a loser. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could have done it in plenty of different ways. Or you could have even just did just the littlest thing with that. You could have still brought that professor in and just kind of tried to bring him along to help you or something, to play, hey, come help me and we'll play chess or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They could have done something, but it does feel, all the other ones are quick and right to the punch and just perfect timing. Like you said, right to the punch. That one just drags a little bit, even though I love it so much.
And I'm curious about the placement. Like, maybe would it have felt like, I think it's actually placed in the right spot for its length, right? Yeah. But it's just like, you're right. Like they all, like Father's Day is probably one of the shortest ones.
Yeah.
And then like the other ones kind of feel like they're all on the same bit. And then Creeping on You it wraps it up very quickly too. But I do think they just spend a bit too much time on the crate. But that's just me. It slows you up and you forget that you're watching an anthology. Yeah. But maybe that's a good thing too.
The other ones aren't as long and, straight to the punch. And then, like I said, I wish there was more of Fluffy in it too. That's another thing.
And that's if we're trying to pick something out. And that's what we're trying to do. So
because
it ain't
really
much.
hard. Yeah, it ain't much because I adore this movie. I adore it. So that's really just really us trying to nitpick the littlest thing, just to have something, because obviously not every movie is perfect. It's very rare to get a perfect movie, but this movie is pretty damn close.
Yeah, we all gave Reanimator 5 you digs last year, just so you know.
Yeah.
That was for Barbara Crampton, I bet.
Yeah, definitely. The giving head scene. You know what I mean? Come on now.
You'll never see this in a movie again. 5 you digs.
Right. Oh my God. It's so funny. It looks like though everyone has high. I mean, this is just a beloved movie. And sorry if anyone has seen Creepshow, it hasn't thrown their rating down below. As always, throw 1 out of 5 you digs or 5 slips. Fable gives it a 5. Bobby D gives it a 5. Jerome gives it a 5 as well. We're Mary Death's giving it a 5. 5 creeps. You know what I'm saying? I dig on that.
And a bunch of emojis.
Hell yeah.
What's that trying to say? I don't know.
Blackheart TV, water, zombie, cake, green heart. Beard.
It's all the bits of the movie.
Yeah, he did good. And then bugs.
That's awesome.
I don't know what the other 2 are though. Those 2 like circles. Maybe that's like a meteor. I think those are meteors or something. That's actually that's impressive, Mary Death. I'm impressed with that.
Station.
Oh yeah. So yeah, man. Let's see. Solid 5 from Ariega. Hell yeah. No doubt. So yeah, man, we give that a solid 4.69, my guys. Station. Yeah, dude, this was a great one. That will conclude the review portion. Now we got a little Robbie, especially. I don't have as much this week, but Robbie especially has a great little show and tell for you guys tonight. So we're getting into show and tell right now. Do you
let me go get it together? Yeah, let me get it together.
I throw the little intro on for y'all while he grabs it. See this awesome Creepshow intro my man made us. Well, I don't have much this week, so I'm gonna just show mine while he's grabbing his stuff. My stuff is basically wrapped around the Creepshow stuff. As I got this from my main man Mike for Christmas recently. This is from the Creepshow TV series, the awesome Creepshow NECA. I love this figure, man. So cool, so detailed. As always, thank you from my man Mike. Robbie, I think everyone thought we were done. I gotta get a little freaking pee break intro, I guess.
I'll make you one.
And as always, I was showing this already, the awesome Creepshow from Scream Factory. If you guys are a fan of Creepshow, this is what you need. Look at this hard little box shell or slipcase. Awesome little booklet it comes with, and just packed with special features. I love it so much, man. It is the freaking best way to watch it. New 4K scan of the original camera negative, supervised and approved by director of photography Michael Gornick. You can't go wrong with that at all. Scream Factory always does the best transfers. Also, this is what I was talking about. The Synops Just Desserts the making of Creepshow documentary. Definitely worth checking out. Can get it on Amazon for like $15. If you're a fan of this, you can't go wrong. Just freaking getting more from getting, behind the scenes footage of, Tom Savini and everything. It was just so much fun. Arrow videos released Creepshow 2. Love this. Love that cover, man, so much. I love Creepshow too, but as much as the first times, I might love it, and I don't know if I love it. It's hard. Tales from the Dark Side of the movie. I adore this movie as well. I think I like this better than Creepshow 2, just because all around I like the stories better. Because I like every story, I'd say, in this one. Creepshow 2, kind of like Creepshow 2 and this would be like probably tied, but because I don't like the third story in Creepshow 2 and I like every story in this, that's why this one probably takes the cake. Because this is the true Creepshow 3, and everyone that is a horror fan knows it. You know what I'm saying? So
we know that. We know it. We know it.
Hell yeah.
We know it. We know
it. So let's see what my man Robbie's got. I'm excited for this.
We already talked about this Creepshow. This is a fantastic Blu-ray. The transfer is amazing on this, y'all. Totally worth it. The book is amazing too. So, and if you speaking of books, get the comic book if you're a fan of Creepshow. If you've never read this, Bernie Wright's and artwork is classic. Really good stuff. So, I also got my Dead Zone this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the transfer on that is freaking awesome, bro.
I'm excited to revisit it. So
I gotta finish it. I was like halfway through and then something came up and I had to pause it, but it's been so long since I watched the Dead Zone, so I was really excited to check that transfer out, dude.
So I've got this box. It's from Jasmine from Geeks Unleashed. Geeks Unleashed is an amazing podcast. We had Mark here earlier. Mark and Jasmine do a great job. Check out Geeks Unleashed if you haven't already. We've had them on PCP movie nights and on just a PCP Rock and Robbie Live before. So I'm going to slice this tape. I have no idea what's in here. It's VHSs. Jasmine's family was getting rid of some VHSs. She knows that I am hunting down VHSs for a new set design in Studio A. And I don't know what movies are in here. And she didn't want to tell me. She wanted me to be surprised. Oh,
this is a real treat right here. Real treat.
It's taped really well. All right, here we go. All right. Let's see what we got. You ready? I'm just going to reach in and pull. First up, we've got Drumline.
I love that.
That's awesome. Hey, Romeo Must Die. Still sealed.
Wow.
Look at that. These are from the last days of VHS, baby.
Right.
All right. What else we got? End of Days.
Oh no.
Special edition.
Oh.
It's got a special effects featurette and an
yeah.
Everlast and a Rob Zombie music video. That means you have to get to the end of the movie, go through the credits, and then you get special features. Holy crap.
Yep. I remember that.
Air Force One, baby.
Oh.
That's dope as hell.
Mary Death's so hyped the VA. Oh, I remember that.
That shit's embossed, bro. It's embossed. That's awesome.
I remember. Dude,
Oh
I think it had like a little slip or it opened up or something like the eye. I had something I thought.
It's embossed.
It's embossed?
So it's like 3D, yeah.
I thought you could like take a little piece off or something. Like it had like a slip. I might be thinking of something else. But I do remember it being embossed.
Still sealed.
Wow.
Look at that. Still sealed. Holy cow. The replacement killers. All right. Lethal Weapon 4 still sealed.
Oh no.
There's one more. It's a horror movie.
Yeah. End of Days is a horror movie too. Oh, one of the most watched VHS tapes ever, or it's 50 First Dates. Remember that they just kept watching repackaging this VHS of The Sixth Sense.
It's a conversation with M. Night Shyamalan's on here, interviews with the cast, rules and clues. Bruh. Thank you so much, Jasmine. These will totally be added to the collection. If anybody else has a rando VHS they want to get rid of, you can send it to me. Just reach out to us at popculturephilosophers@gmail.com or on Instagram or whatnot, because I'm trying to build a video store set. I really want a lot of horror ones, but things like this really are fucking awesome. So, Jasmine, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I'll be showing them off again tomorrow night on Rock and Robbie Live. So that's what I got, Dylan.
That's all you got for this week? Sweet.
Yeah, look at that.
Those are cool, bro. That's cool that some of them are sealed too. That's something, bro.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow. You don't see that often.
They're all from a very certain time, though. They're all late 90s, and I love that. Mm-hmm. They're all late 90s movies. I love it.
Hell yeah.
It's the last hurrah, baby.
Oh yeah. I love Sandler. I know my trivia. So last but not least, before we get out of here, next week, so you guys know what your homework is, we will be reviewing the Blob remake. And this is one I've been so excited to check out. I don't think Jay Strick owns this yet, but I know he'd be down to watch this and review.
I think he does, actually.
So he did, but it came damaged, I thought, or he was trying to get the slip, so he sent it back, and then Amazon ran out of stock. Maybe he got it now. Dude, it's like $30 right now on Amazon. But I bet you it's 30.
When it went out for like a week, it went up to $50, man. People are ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah. It's just 30 now, but I bet you it comes with the slip. But who knows? Maybe it doesn't. But yeah, that's ridiculous, man. I got this like day one because this was one of my first. This was probably one of the first 5 Scream Factory Blu-rays I had owned, because this Silver Bullet like day ones for me, man. I love this one, bro, so much. It's got a really cool audio commentary with director Chuck Russell, cinematographer Mark Irwin, special effects artist Tony Gardner, moderated by filmmaker Joe Lynch.
Hey,
yeah,
I just watched Jamie's watching through Holliston with me, and I just showed her my favorite episode, and that's the Holliston Hobgoblin episode.
I remember that was your favorite.
We're so wasted.
Oh my god. Wait, not yet. We're so wasted. I love that, man. But yeah, Joe Lynch is commended, or just went on for years that this is one of his all-time favorite movies. So I didn't even know till like recently, maybe like a few months ago. I looked and I was like, dude, Joe Lynch is on the commentary. I had no idea. So that was just so cool, man. I love this movie. So I'm so hyped to review this next week. I've been dying to do this one with you. So yeah, man, great show this week, guys. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Thank you, Fable, Jerome, Supreme Comics Girl, Two Gun, my man Missing Link, Mary Death, Two Gun, Bobby D, Brother Joe, Wasteland Interceptor, TM. Let's see, Ariaga. Let's see who else was up in here. My boy Robbie P. We had Toby was in here. Jay Strick stopped by for a bit. We had, I know Mike was in here for a little bit as well. Let's see. I know Comics Will Break Your Heart. Jen was here. Definitely go check and sub her up if you haven't already. Let's see. So I know she was just on the monthly comic show the other night. So
yeah, we had her and Nick from Comic Culture there.
Dude, I stopped in because I was so. I wish, man, I could have made it, dude. I had read nothing. I felt like I was gonna look like an asshole. And I looked at the time. I'm like, there's no way I can make it, bro. It was like set like 2 minutes before sign. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah, and then Bullseye Bob had emergency like dental work done that day too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was. That was a bummer, bro. I would have loved to. I know I've been on with Nick once, I believe, when you had that big stream and you had all the Bad Batch there. But I've never been on with Jen, man. So I was really bummed. I would have liked to, hang out with her for a bit.
I think we're gonna try to invite her back next time, but I don't know. She kind of like took the show off the rails, man. We started talking about Dick Fight Island. It was a very thirsty show with Jen's involvement, but it was all no different than what we do here when we review a Linnea Quigley movie.
Oh my God. Right. Oh my God. I love it. Thank you so much, Mary Death, dude. The support has been so awesome. I love when you come in, you know what I'm saying? You just have so much always to add. So dude, Station, thanks for hanging out. Like seriously, it's been so cool having you come in and chat with us throughout the time. All of you guys, man, just thank you as always for the constant support. You guys know it means so much to me. You guys are the best, man. Could not do it without you guys. Could not do it without my boy and awesome co-host right here, Rockin' Robbie, or right there. I fucking love this guy, man. This show would not happen if it wasn't for Robbie, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love this guy, man. Always there for me.
Let's be honest, Dylan. I created this show. Okay?
You did. It might have my name on it, but you created it. You do the intros every week.
I just wanted to see content from Dylan at least once a week. That's all. And I know you do too. So.
And then, dude, if it wasn't for you, I probably, might have fell off, and not have been as consistent as I've been. I think I've only missed one show, since we started. So that's pretty big, man. But dude, you're the fucking best, bro. And I am so hyped for next week. Remember, guys, the Blob remake, not the original, the Blob remake with
Can I plug something real quick?
Kevin Dillon. Go ahead, as always, man.
All right. So first of all, weekly pop culture wrap up is up on the channel right now. So check it out if you want more info about what those Scott Snyder books are I was mentioning earlier. I go over all of them. And share some thoughts on the Ghostbusters trailer and some other things like a Waterworld TV series. But join me tonight at midnight Central. So 12 a.m. Central time, super late. I'm going to be on the comic book G-Spot. So if you're up and at 'em, drop by and give us a station. And then tomorrow night, Rockin' Robbie Live, 7 p.m. Central time on Pop Culture Philophers, 4-hour show. Tomorrow night, 4 hours.
Nice, bro. That's gonna be awesome, no doubt. The show wouldn't happen without Dylan.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you can't have a Dylan's horror show without Dylan. But
I'm so proud of you, Dylan, and I love you so much, and you're doing an amazing job with this show. Keep at it,
brother. Thank you, man.
Y'all need to share the fuck out of this show, this channel. Yeah. We need to get Dylan to 1K because it's been way too long. We need to do this.
Yeah.
So, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Can we get Dylan to 1K by Halloween? Only if you start right now. Yeah, share, like, subscribe.
We're gonna have a crazy horror fest this year, man. It's gonna be so awesome. I cannot wait. Oh my God. I'm like already just so hyped for it, bro. I'm so ready.
You need to finalize your list for me so that we can announce that one too.
Yeah. I will. Yeah. I got you. I got it like 60% done. I just been
Now,
I was
remember
waiting
also-
to see some of the polls, but I know those polls won't be ready for a while, so I'm gonna just have to just put whatever in.
Yeah.
And man,
Maybe
I
we
was
can do a
trying to,
poll.
yeah. I might have to do at least one. You know
The
what I'm
full
saying?
lineup of the PCP side of Horror Fest will be revealed tomorrow night on
Yeah.
Rock and Robbie Live. So,
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Well, yeah, man. Thank you as always, man, dude. Yeah.
Dylan already knows that.
Thank you, Two Gun. Yeah, you guys, Fable always, everyone in the Bad Batch always promoting. You guys are the best, man. Like, those are my guys. Ride or die, always. Yeah, man. I trust me. I want to do more, man. I just that's why I don't commit to more, because I don't want to disappoint anybody. And I know I can at least always do this for you.
You're not a disappointment. And remember, you are officially PCP crew. Excited.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I don't want to start something new, get everyone excited, and then just blow them off. You know what I'm saying? But because I know they want me to do more, obviously. You know what I'm saying? I know they enjoy us all hanging out. It's just, I just don't like to disappoint nobody. You know what I'm saying? So at least I can always be dependable for this.
You'll get plenty of Dylan in September and October for Horror Fest, though.
Yeah,
Trust me.
True that. And you never know, man. I get a new job, better job or something, man. I'm making more money, and I can move stuff around. You know what I mean? But right now, it's just in the time we're at. It is what it is, But I'll be doing this for a while. You know what I'm saying? Horror has always been a part of my entire life. So thank you guys always. You guys are the best, man. We will see you next week. Definitely make sure you guys are there for the live show tomorrow. Love y'all.
Good evening, Holliston. Ah!